Cody Banks is a 15-year-old boy who lives with his parents and his younger brother Alex. Although his family believes he is not capable enough, he does not hesitate to help anyone in trouble. On the other hand, a scientist, Dr. Albert Connors, presents his concept of nanobots to an organization named IRIS. After knowing their potential to destroy any carbon or silicon-based compounds, IRIS head Brinkman, along with his assistant Francois Moe, orders Connors to program the nanobots within 10 days so they can be used to infiltrate any system. Dr. Albert Connors' research is brought under the light in a CIA meeting in Seattle, where the director briefs his team about Connors' association with IRIS and his expertise with nanotechnology, especially nanobots that can be programmed to destroy any defense system in the world. To cater to the potential threats of the nanobots, the CIA plans to find and restrain Dr. Albert Connors, but it's not an easy task. The team has explained that Connors mostly remains isolated and his daughter Natalie is the only way to get to him. As IRIS is aware of the CIA agents, the agency must find a new face to take on the mission. Director briefs about CIA's agent development program, which is used to recruit teenagers, who are later trained to fulfill the agency's requirements, and reveals Cody Banks as their best find of the year. As he admires Cody's skills, Cody is bullied by his schoolmates for being delicate. During one of these bullying sessions, Cody is approached by a lady named Veronica Miles, who tells him about his selection as a junior agent with the CIA. She takes him to the headquarters, where he is given his first assignment to get close to Natalie, to get information about her father and IRIS. Veronica tells him that Natalie's 16th birthday is coming up in a few days, and Connors will be throwing a party for her. She asks Cody to make sure he gets invited to the party. Although Cody seems hesitant to take on his first assignment, but assures them he can handle the case. After the meeting, he is given necessary equipment, including a virtual imaging device, a cell phone, a watch, and a lot of cash that can help him during the mission. After his visit to the headquarters, Cody returns home and tells his parents about going to the prep school, William Donovan Institute, on scholarship. Although his parents do not believe him, Veronica comes over pretending to be a school representative and convinces them to let him go. After getting the necessary instructions from Veronica, Cody joins the new institute, enrolling in every class Natalie attends. He spots her in the chemistry lab and tries to talk to her, but is interrupted by a group of boys who snatch his watch. Cody tricks them into pressing the specific button on the watch that electrocutes them, and they are forced to return it to him.
Won't touch that silver button right there.
That silver button?
Yeah, just
silver
He tries to talk to Natalie, but cannot do it, as he has never talked to a girl before. After a few failed attempts, he eventually starts a conversation during a driving test at school. Although he impresses her with his driving skills, Natalie's friends take her away thinking he might hurt her. During his training session at CIA headquarters, Veronica asks about his progress and forces him to make it quick, but he reveals it's difficult for him as he has to do his homework and house chores as well. After listening to his problems, Veronica asks a few other agents to help him with his house chores while he starts working on the case. In his next meeting with Veronica, Cody is asked to call Natalie, but the team soon finds out he is unable to talk to her. He is taken to the headquarters again, where a team of experts teach him how to talk to a girl, but their efforts don't seem very effective. The next day at school, Cody gets a chance to break the ice, when he saves Natalie as she falls off the ladder while hanging a banner on the wall.
Where did you come from?
He takes her to the hospital where she starts talking to him. She thanks him for his help and invites him to her birthday party, so Cody succeeds in the first step of the mission. While taking him to the party, Veronica again explains the rules and asks him to keep a low profile so no one can suspect him, as IRIS agents might be there as well. After taking the car from her, he gets to Natalie's house, where he is stopped at the gate but makes his way in. He spots Dr. Connors at the party, but directly goes to Natalie and gives her a necklace as her birthday present. Soon, Cody spots Mr. Brinkman join Connors, as they head towards a secret room. He explains the situation to Veronica, who advises him to wait, but he decides to go down to the secret room. He sneaks into the room through the roof and spots them discussing the nanobots that can be used to destroy any defense system. Connors does not agree with Brinkman's agenda and refuses to work on it, but he threatens him to comply. As they leave the lab, Cody gets inside and steals one of the ice cubes with the nanobots inside and hides it in his shoe, but it starts melting and he discards his shoes. As the safety alarms start beeping, Mole and Brinkman return to the lab, but Cody successfully makes his way out while hiding from them. He gets back to the car, but is interrupted by the bullies who take him back to the party. As they try to throw him into the pool, he starts fighting against them and beats them all. His fighting skills alarm Mole and he quickly recognizes he is working with the CIA. Although everyone at the party admires him, the situation gets worse for him as the incident makes it to the school newspaper. Ronica informs him he won't be able to continue the mission as he has blown his cover. He is asked to go back to the academy, but stay away from Natalie. He argues with Ronica as he does not want to leave, but she takes his badge back, informing him she can't do anything for him. At the Iris Thermo lab, Brinkman asks Connors to speed up his work, but he reveals he won't let them use his technology for destruction. Brinkman orders Mole to kidnap his daughter. Meanwhile, Natalie comes over to Cody's house, but he sneaks her out from the back door after spotting the CIA agents outside the house. He takes her to a cafe and tries to explain everything, but they are interrupted by Mole, who attacks them. Cody asks Natalie to run away while he fights against them, but Mole and his henchmen kidnap her before knocking him down. Ronica and her team rescue him and take him back to the headquarters, where he tells them about Natalie's abduction. She assures him they will find her. He asks her to let him help them on the mission, but Ronica reveals he is not allowed to continue anymore. To his disappointment, she asks him to leave and resume his life as it was before joining the CIA and says goodbye to him. Upset by the situation, he comes back home, where his mother grounds him for being late. He gets back to his room, where he finds Alex playing with his devices. After Alex accidentally turns on the phone, Cody tells him about working with the CIA. While talking to him, Cody spots a red spot on the phone and realizes it's showing Natalie's location through a device in her necklace. He tries to call Ronica to inform her about it, but cannot reach her as his call is not transferred to her, nor is he allowed to talk to any other agents. After finding no other way, he bribes Alex with the money he got from the agency and asks him to make sure no one knows about his absence from the house. After arriving at the headquarters again, he steals the car and other equipment and begins his solo journey to help Natalie.
I'm worried about Cody.
Ronica tells the director about Cody's recent activity, but he scolds her for not keeping him away from the mission and asks her to find him, otherwise she might lose her job as well. On the other hand, Cody makes his way to the Cascade Mountains where they are holding Natalie and continues his journey with the help of snowboards, but security guards stop him from going forward. He fights against them, but gets stuck in a tree, from where Ronica, who just arrived by solo trek, saves him. He thinks she is here to take him back, but she assures him she will help him find Natalie and he agrees to go with her. They infiltrate the secret facility and make their way forward while hiding from the security. At the facility, Cody finds out the bots are kept in ice cubes, as they are inactive in the frozen state and that's why they melted his shoe earlier. Soon, he spots Natalie in a secret room and rushes inside to help her out. He asks her to go with him, but she starts arguing with him. Meanwhile, Mole spots him in Natalie's room and tells Brinkman about him, who orders to take him down. In the room, Cody explains everything to her and says getting to know her was his first assignment being a member of the CIA. She thinks he only did it for his job, but Cody reveals he started developing feelings for her. Soon, Ronica interrupts the discussion and asks them to leave before anyone gets to them. She takes them with her, but they are attacked by Mole and his team. Cody escapes from them, while Natalie and Ronica are brought to Brinkman, who holds Natalie and orders to bring Connors in. When Connors arrives, Brinkman puts an ice cube with nanobots on Natalie's face and threatens to attack her if he does not program the bots as per his instructions. After finding no other way, Connors gets to work, while Cody shows up and asks Brinkman to let her go. As he does not pay attention to him, Cody sets off the explosives Ronica planted earlier, and Natalie frees herself from Brinkman and slides the ice cube down his throat.
Cody, do it!
Mole quickly finds the remote to stop the bots from activation, but Connors informs him he has already made it useless. They take Mole down, while the bots start devouring him from inside out. The ice cubes start melting, while Cody and Ronica save Connors and Natalie, right before the lab starts coming down. They get into the helicopter to fly out of the lab, but the doors get jammed. As bots start destroying everything in the lab, Cody jumps out and throws some ice cubes on the door. Ronica flies the helicopter out of the lab, but Cody is attacked by Mole again. He fights against him and ties him to a solo trek, while programming it to fly back to the CIA headquarters. Ronica brings the helicopter back and Cody jumps on it right before the lab explodes. He is taken back to the headquarters, where Ronica admires him for his successful mission. She returns his badge and welcomes him back into the agency. Soon the director appreciates him as well and offers a reward for him. Cody requests him to help with Natalie's driving license, which she eventually gets, and he takes her out. They go to the beach, where Ronica tries to call him, but Cody dismisses the call and kisses Natalie.